Hello, everybody. Welcome to HBMA Live. Thank you very much. I know we are coming up probably after 2 or 3 weeks. So, first of all, very happy New Year to everybody. And this is my pleasure to host HBMA Live here. Welcome to HBMA Live today. I'm going to introduce, before I introduce our guest speaker today, I'm going to take a liberty and talk about few things which is very important for our new members, those who have joined HBMA in last few months. So thank you very much for your participation. We welcome you in HBMA family. We have planned two amazing conferences in next few months. The board you see in the front as a banner, HBMA Spring Compliance Course, that is coming on February 6th and 8th. Again, the details are on our website, hbma.org. You go to the website, you scroll down to the education, and there is a 2023 Spring Compliance course. And you can see the whole detail about it. It will talk about who are going to be the speakers, what are going to be the topics, what exactly we will be talking about. So Spring Compliance course is coming again on 6th and 8th, and I have not shared the location yet. It's Hotel Cambria in Nashville downtown area. So book your tickets for February 6th and 8th, which includes wonderful interaction with our board, our committee members, and of course, there would be some vendors. So mark your calendars for February 6th and 8th. Hey, by the way, most important thing, there's a $500 discount going on if you book in next couple of days. Actually, today is the last day, probably. So if you have not booked your registration, go to the website, sign up. There's a $500 discount going on right now, and that is only till today or tomorrow. So go ahead and do it. Now we will be talking about what we are going to show you in that compliance course conference on February 6th and 8th. So let me introduce you a very good friend of HBMA, a very longest serving friend of HBMA. She has served on the board of HBMA a few times. She has served on the different committees on HBMA for a few times. I'm going to invite Holly Louie here with me. Welcome, Holly. Thank you very much for joining me on HBMA Live.
Thank you. It's nice to be here.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, thanks. It's a good start to a new year.
It is, it is. How's the weather at your side?
Sunny and 60.
Well, fantastic. Yeah, we were having a lot of cold. Last week it was the coldest period in Florida. So, but now it feels better. It came back to same 70s and 72. So, are you excited to meet your HBMA family in Nashville on February 6th and 8th?
Absolutely. I love this conference. It's always been my favorite,
Hmm.
just because it's different and unique. There's a lot of faculty to attendee ratio, so a lot of personal time, and it's designed specifically for RCM companies, no matter their size, with all the tools, tips, techniques, helps, aids that anybody needs to really bolster their plan and keep it on the right track.
You have a long association with HBMA. You were telling me. Tell me something about it.
Well, I was introduced to HBMA in the mid 90s
Hmm.
when I went to work for a physician owned group and billing company. I knew absolutely nothing about it. I was a nurse. And so it was a baptism by fire, and everything was on paper. There was no easy way to learn anything back then. And that grew into active HBMA membership. And in my personal professional life, it grew into gleaning expertise to become a compliance officer for regional, local, and international billing companies, and to be determined to be an expert in fraud and abuse.
So, one of the things which when somebody talks about compliance, I've been into healthcare industry for almost 18, 19 years. And my knowledge has just become graduate. That's what I say, people. I just passed out 12th grade with my knowledge in healthcare. But whenever people talk about compliance, it is such a, I would say, confusing word to me that I could not understand exactly what compliance means when it comes to non-clinical matters in a medical group or a medical billing company. So let's talk about that particular one word. What should, we have a lot of these people who wants to learn something about billing, coding, and all those things, but when we talk about compliance, it's little complex. So simplify it for us.
Oh, that's good. Well, I once heard somebody say compliance is where fun goes to die, but I don't believe that. I
Yeah.
think compliance is simply knowing what the right things are and doing the right things. Nothing is perfect. You will never be 100%. You will never stop learning and growing in it because it changes nonstop.
Correct.
Great challenge.
So how is it like more the rules and policies set by Medicare, CMS, Medicaid that you guys help in implementing in the correct way in a medical practice, or what exactly you guys do?
That's part of it. I think the biggest factor, the only one that really matters, is that whatever entity you're with, you have to have a culture that says we're going to do it right. We're going to do it right all the time.
Hmm.
And if you don't want to do that, you don't belong in our group because you don't fit the metric. Because you have to have that before you can do anything to implement rules and regs.
So is it more like a business processes we are talking about?
Yes, it really is. It's one big glob. It's not a separate standalone. It's how you do your operations every single day to help you be more successful in business because you know you're doing it right and so do your clients.
And it's more like constantly it needs to be monitored or it needs to be
Yes.
updated, something like that.
Yes, absolutely.
So tell us, how do you guys help your clients when we talk about compliance?
I think one of the things, this probably is going to sound silly, but I try to make it fun and interesting. Nobody wants you to read them the Federal Register. So nobody wants you to go in and yell, you're committing fraud.
Right.
You've got to make it palatable and applicable to your audience, and you've got
Hmm.
to tell them why it's better.
Hmm. So tell us about your sessions which you are going to conduct at HBMA.
Okay. They're all geared for what the guidance says right now. In the last 5 years, there's been 5 different sets of updates issued. And so it's what is it right now? If you're new to compliance, we'll help you. If you're a pro, we've got things for you. And we've customized them all for big companies, small companies, and practical ways to do it. So I'm going to do, the overall compliance program, surprise billing, which just had a bomb dropped last week from CMS on
It
the.
was. It was. So surprise billing is going to be one of my favorite subject. We're going to be talking about it.
Yes.
Um, so, so it would be who are going to be the audience for those we have customized or designed these sessions.
It can be our members, RCM companies. It can be compliance officers in your RCM company or any other employee that has a hand in compliance. It can be your clients. Um, it's just a great way to build relationships and invite your clients to come with you if you're coming. It's a great way to build that and help them help you.
So in my view, when I see it, when you're talking about compliance, it is should be there to protect yourself as a medical billing company, or it should be there to protect your clients. What's the underlying benefit of having this compliance department in your company?
Well, I think your clients and your billing company are kind of like Siamese twins. You're bonded together in this. It is a joint effort. You can't operate on parallel tracks and not know what each other are doing, not understand. And I'm going to be honest, not very many physicians live in this world. They want to be doctors. They do not want to be compliance technicians. And I think that's what really builds the relationship is you can be their help in that and guide them on how to do it better.
So that means this compliance alone can be an outsourced function with medical billing companies that they can offer to other medical groups, right?
It,
As a service.
to medical groups, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
I think, though, that you've got to be careful with that because you can't just give it away and say, here, you do it, because it's how you do your operations. It's how you practice. So you can't just hand that off and say, here, you do it for me. I don't want to.
So how difficult it is to implement it in a medical groups? What's your experience? You have been doing it for long. So tell us a little bit about yourself, your career, education, how
It,
long you've been worked into this compliance
you
thing.
know, I think the real shock to me, and this case is still in appeal, so I can't give too many details, but
Mhm.
there was a group of a whopping 6 physicians in a small town who are being audited back 13 years. The original overpayment was $7,000 and the government wants 2.8 million back.
Jesus.
So, I don't like to go in and threaten physicians or say this is going to happen to you, but they do need to understand and collaborate with you on doing this and doing it right really does matter. And I think that's our job. We have to
Right.
know enough to help them with that.
Right. Well, what's the relationship of HIPAA with it? So where does the HIPAA comes into the picture?
Oh my gosh. It's all part of, it's certainly a facet of compliance. And I think it's become even more pervasive now with all the, um, the hacking and the the stealing of data and the cybersecurity. We're going to have a whole session just on cybersecurity and billing company insurance to
Right.
protect yourself. But it is what used to just be, kind of a sign on the wall and your doctor did it and you locked your door. It's not like that anymore. It is just a very important part of every business.
Fantastic. So this is going to be kind of the whole day conference where our entire focus would be for the protection of your own medical billing company, business, as well as protection of your doctors or your clients, right?
Absolutely. And,
And
the new rules are that owners and managers are now held far more personally accountable than they used to be in compliance. And I think it's important that all of our people understand that it's not, oh, I didn't know. That doesn't work.
right. The more they protect themselves, the more they're going to protect their clients because they manage that data and their information about it.
Yes, exactly.
So, what is the most important information you are looking at when we talk about compliance in medical groups or medical billing companies? Why is this information is this like cybersecurity, HIPAA, digital securities, and it's all fall under compliance? Does it is a coding compliance also fall under that?
Oh,
Coding and
absolutely. It's one of the biggest components. And I will say this, I've heard many of our RCM companies say, well, our clients do their own coding. It doesn't affect us. Well, that isn't true. It does affect you. We're at least responsible for recognizing patterns of issue or concern and addressing them. And many billing companies owners who think we don't code would be somewhat surprised to find out what their employees are really doing that's qualified as coding.
right. So what exactly would be the format for the whole day when people will come and they will so just explain our readers what's going to be the format for the entire course. Why
Okay,
did we call it a spring compliance course?
sure. All 3 days are similar. There are multiple sessions from different presenters that delve down into individual topics pretty darn deeply, and with, as I said, the tools and the tips and the helps.
Hmm.
And there's a lot of breaks, lunches, receptions where the attendees can spend time with the faculty. Um, for questions and answers, and that it's great networking time for them with each other also to say, okay, Kunal, what is your company doing about this? And I just think the networking is extremely valuable.
So once they do this course for these 3 days, are they supposed to go back and then conduct and discuss with you guys and do the this course more often for their all the employees, or this is a one time thing, they can be protected and they have a certification after doing this course?
You know, historically, when we did this every year, we had the majority of the audience came every single year because so many things change in our industry and our business annually, and new risks, new problems, new challenges. And many of the people came every year just because they were building those incremental steps, and each year they wanted to get better and know more and be more proactive on the front edge of compliance instead of reacting to problems.
Yeah, so it's like every year they come here, they do. So this is more like we are giving back as an HPMA to our industry, and holding it as a common at one place so that they can come, they can get educated, they know what they have to do for the whole year, and then if they feel important, they come back next year again.
Exactly. And I think it really goes hand in hand with HBMA's certification, HC Pro. They're not mutually exclusive, they're not one replaces the other. It's
Mhm.
a common bond and a very strong link between the two. So you have the HC Pro perspective of all the federal things you must do and implement. And then you have our course, which is okay, now let's build that in your company specifically, customized for you.
That's fantastic. So, well, I think we are going to have another session with one of the speakers, Carrie. I think she is not present today, but she's going to be there next week, or when we would have this course. We'll be talking about it. I am very thankful for you to come and present this for our audience today. I will let you go. Thank you, Holly. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Have a nice day.
Thank you so much. Well, this was it. Today we have a little shorter session because we were talking about the our conference, which is coming on February 6th and February 8th. If you have any question, feel free to send us messages. We have an extreme competent team. They respond to you and reach out to you back. Again, as a reminder, if you are watching me and if you have an interest into healthcare, especially in the medical billing and coding field, join HBMA at hbma.org and also take an advantage of extra $500 discount for our upcoming spring compliance course. With this, thank you very much. I'll see you next week again.